masters of horror.
Welcome to the Scariest Things Podcast, your gateway to the tropes and trends of the horror genre. This is spooky time. Number
time.
4.
Spooky.
We told you, we promised we were going to be doing this every week, and we have been doing it for the last 4 weeks.
Oh yeah.
This is Valentine's week, so happy Valentine's to you all. Did you watch My Bloody Valentine this week? Please say yes.
No.
What? Come on. It's required. You're supposed to watch John Carpenter's 1978 Halloween during October every year. You're supposed to watch My Bloody Valentine the second week of February.
And you watch Mother's Day on Mother's Day and Father's Day on Father's Day. And
exactly.
Right.
You can watch Stepfather. That's fine too. But
and
you are supposed to watch My Bloody Valentine. Either the original or the remake. Both are fine.
They're both,
both are totally.
And you have to put your 3D
fine.
glasses on.
That's yes.
You should wear those all the time anyway.
Yes.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, it's just,
So
it's
cool.
just a good look. It's a good look. It's a solid look. What are we talking about?
Happy Valentine.
Talking about My Bloody. Although I could, if you guys want, I could talk about My Bloody Valentine for the next 20 minutes, but that's not what we're talking about. Who is going to hip us to the latest and greatest news this week or the coolest thing you saw or ingested in the world of horror? Well, it's horror, so you ingest things.
Yeah.
Who's going to go first? Who's got something cool to report out this week?
I got a cool thing.
Yeah, go for it, Robert.
Robert's got a cool thing. Robert's got a cool background.
Cool thing with a matching background. For those that don't know, the background here is from DeadStream.
Mm-hmm.
DeadStream, for those that don't know, is a found footage horror film done by Vanessa and Joseph Winter, who both wrote it and directed it.
Mm-hmm.
It's currently available on Shudder.
Yep.
It made a big splash on the festival circuit, and I enjoyed it. It was one of my favorite movies of 2022.
Yeah, this one scored big at the Overlook Film Festival. I think it either won or came in second place for Best in Show. So
it did get a bunch of nominations and a couple of wins, like a fan favorite win, and so yeah, it made waves.
Yeah, and
I saw the world premiere at South by Southwest last year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I'm in the minority on this one, so you don't want to hear what I have to say about it.
Fair enough. It can be kind of a polarizing thing, for sure.
No, it is. I think there are a lot of really funny bits. To me, it was a little frenetic, and the character I liked in a small dose, but like spread out over the course of 125 minutes or an hour and 25 minutes was a bit much.
Yeah.
I thought what was really great about it though, and I would encourage folks to, and I myself want to do this, is go back and rewatch it, because all the comments, there's like a constant running tally of comments right next to what's the character's name? I can't even remember.
Sean.
Yeah, those are hysterical, and I think that's what really sold the film for me. But yeah,
and the fact that he was desperate, right?
Yes.
He was a struggling YouTuber.
Yep.
And
trying to get his sponsors back.
Did we ever find out who his sponsors were? Have you researched that or found out what?
No.
Okay. Yeah, because it was something where he was just pleading with his audience, stay with me now. Okay.
Right.
I'll just we're gonna try this again. The woman who shows up, the kind of fun little mousy woman,
Mm-hmm.
Who
Melanie Stone, I think.
Yeah, and she did these kind of jump out of nowhere kinds of things, kind of jump scary, but just wacky. I thought she was great, and she also shows up, and I think the director also did were part of VHS 99.
Yeah.
And which was, I thought, that was my favorite part of VHS 99 was their trip to hell. And
Right.
where she would lead them through, it's like, come this way. And they go, I don't know, this is
And
I think
VHS
we're in
99.
hell. Oh my God. And yeah, that was, but that kind of nuttiness. If you've seen VHS 99 and you like that last bit, it's a natural for DeadStream. It's kind of got that same kind of feel to it.
It does. It does.
That irreverent kind of, and it is very, it's kind of snarky smart.
Yep.
Right.
Mhm.
Where
and it was also a one of the golden childs of the indie horror done good sort of things.
Right.
And
right.
what I came across this week, there's a guy who was behind the scenes on DeadStream, guy named Jared Cook. He was director of photography. He was location manager. He was a producer. He did a lot of construction for the sets and everything. If you look up on YouTube, if you look up DeadStream BTS, or just look for Jared Cook, he's done one right now, and it's the title of his little videos are How I Made and Sold a Low Budget Indie Horror Film Behind the Scenes Part 1.
Awesome.
So he's gonna do this one's like, I don't know, 6 or 8 minutes or something like that, but he's gonna go through the whole thing, and he's taking requests on what people want to see, and he's talking about the sets and the cameras and the distribution, and I mean all of it. He's gonna go through the whole shooting match.
There you go. That's the
really
process.
Cool.
And that's for all, we get a ton of people who come to us. Initially, when we did the Scariest Things, it was like, oh my God, it's a movie maker and they want to talk to us. And now it's like, oh my God, there's a lot of movie makers who want to talk to us. It's like, it's so much. It's like, and it's all these indie filmmakers, and DeadStream is the poster child for one of those kinds of small productions that actually manages to break through. It cut clean through all the clutter. And
found a home on Shudder.
Yeah, so for those of you who aren't aware, there are so many people who just they break into the industry thinking that I can do a horror movie for cheap, but it is so hard to get the attention. But you work the proper thing to do.
Well,
and I think that these
show
guys,
up at South by Southwest and you'll get some attention mighty quick.
That's right. That's that and Overlook, right? And then Popcorn Frights. They hit all of the major festivals, but South by is the one that has all the national press's eyes on it, right?
I think for a hot second, I was like the second or third reviewer of DeadStream. And if you Googled it, it's like New York Times, San Francisco Chronicle, and Flunko the Idiot.
Macerated Mike.
If you check out, Macerated Mike is calling himself for this podcast.
I am macerated this week. Yeah, I'll come up with something better next week. All right, so, Eric, what do you have for this week?
Well, when we talk about the latest and the greatest, this is there's a little show on television. I don't know if you heard about it, but it's called The Last of Us.
Oh,
and it is the hottest thing on television right now.
That's
so
right.
I figured at some point, got to start talking about it. Now it is famously the greatest video game script of all time is often how it gets referenced, right? This is
well, was it a video game originally?
It was originally a video game for the Sony PlayStation. PlayStation 3.
PlayStation.
It was. I've never played it because I never had a Sony. I've had an Xbox, and so I missed out on this thing. But this was one where everybody rested their hopes. It's like, if they can ever do a good video game translation,
Right.
to the screen, it's going to be this.
Right.
And they were
not Silent Hill Part 4.
No, not Resident Evil, not, so this is, but they, granted, those were successful on the box office reasonably to their budgets. Artistically, The Last of Us is the first one that really breaks through. It's good. It's Pedro Pascal plays Joel.
Right.
Bella Ramsey plays Ellie, and they are traveling across the country through a blighted apocalypse full of fungus infested zombies to try, and there's Ellie is immune to the zombie bites, and so she's the magic child essentially. And Joel is taking her along with him because he wants to find his brother who's out in Wyoming. They're going from Brooklyn from Boston to somewhere out in like Jackson Hole or something like that. They don't actually, I don't know exactly where in Wyoming. They're going to Wyoming. This really is the spiritual. Yeah, Casper, Cheyenne. Yeah, I don't know if there's any other towns out in Wyoming, really. Sorry, but it's like I'm sure all of our 5 Wyoming listeners are probably going to be up in arms about that. It's been a huge hit, right?
Yeah.
And
how many episodes are there?
There's 5. There have been 5.
Okay.
And for all intents and purposes, this is the spiritual successor to The Walking Dead in the way that it has become the water cooler show. It is.
Okay. But it's not one of those shows where the characters never catch a break.
Well, I'll get into this because this is it's a bit of a mix. It takes some lessons from that, and then also sheds some of those lessons also. So I think part of this is sort of a discussion about The Walking Dead, because if you remember, The Walking Dead was the hotness for about 7 years. It was like the Game of Thrones, kept you on your toes because nobody was protected. Everybody was vulnerable. They would kill off favorite characters. It had a huge budget. You had Greg Nicotero doing just absolutely stunning zombie makeup stuff, which now you look at The Walking Dead and then you look back to the old Romero, the Savini stuff. He's a disciple of Savini. And you can see the graduation of how you apply these things. They could throw more money at it. George didn't have as much money as The Walking Dead had. So, but it was stunning to watch. The acting was at another level from what you normally get from your zombie kinds of movies or shows. And it was based on a very, very successful John Kirkman. Was it John Kirkman?
Robert Kirkman.
Comic book, which actually Mike cued me into. He goes, "Hey, did you check out this? It's like it's yeah. You were the one who cued me in on the Walking Dead comic, and then I got in about book number 10.
Yep.
If I had book number 1, I'd sold it for a lot of money.
I sold all mine. They're gone.
For a good chunk of money too. I had some original artwork, from Charlie Adler.
Yeah.
It was really, it was good money to be made off of investing in comic art. Anyways.
Yep.
But the other thing was that they would have big set pieces with the prison sequence in particular was awesome. It was also hard R.
This is following on in the same path.
In a lot of ways, it feels a lot like, again, it's a spiritual successor. So you can see the big budget in play. You can tell that they invested in really good actors. They also it's HBO Max, so it's gory, it's hard, it's mean.
How many episodes how many are they going to run through in this?
I'm not completely sure, but they're going to, I think it's probably, they're not going to complete the cycle in this first season. I'm sure they're going to, and that's really one of the questions, because the video game has a set ending.
Interesting.
And it's a sort of a famously melancholy, heartbreaking ending. I don't know what it is, but either Joel or Ellie's going to get it at some point. I figure I'm sure someone in our listening audience knows this is such a huge hit that they'll probably say, "Oh yeah, so and so doesn't make it to the very end." But you can tell this is a journey for these two. It's a lone wolf and cub kind of a thing where they're traveling road trip, child and protector, right?
Okay. So there is an actual storyline to the video game that does come to some sort of conclusion.
Yes.
Okay.
And I think that watching the show, you would not know that it's a video game.
Oh, okay.
Which is, for the most part, if you were unawares, you would think that this was something like The Walking Dead, based on like a book, or
right.
It's really
right.
they have the guy who wrote the video game is also like Robert Kirkman, and this fella is Neil Druckmann, who is the producer, the showrunner, and so he has a heavy hand in making sure that his story gets told. The pluses: Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey have excellent chemistry. They're providing weekly impressive acting performances. The use of the fungus zombies, they use them sparingly but very effectively. They look great. It reminds me of the Annihilation kind of creepy fungus growth, and the movie Gaia, which was out of South Africa, fungus zombies. The guest actors are awesome, and I think Nick Offerman is going to get an Emmy Award.
Wow.
He plays a grouchy gay survivalist. And he and the man he captures and then falls in love with, Frank, they become unforgettable. It is just this one. It's one episode. It's all about them, and it is a heartbreaker. It's a weeper. People just like, if you go online, you can see the YouTuber reactions and you see people crying. It's give him the Emmy. He's great.
All right.
And it's
get HBO Max.
But
or
I do
HBO
think
Max, if you're listening, get us subscriptions.
Yeah.
For free.
Well, I think, but I have a cautionary thing about this, because I think that the primary characters have plot armor. You know that they're going to move through, and we're going to follow them for as long as the show goes.
Oh, I gotcha. Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And you get the feeling that anybody
it can remove the dramatic tension if you know that there's no way they're going to get got.
That's right. I mean, they do a good job of creating the tension within the show.
Sure.
It's still very exciting. You also get the feeling that anybody you meet and care about is going to get it and die in the show. That's
right.
They got to kill somebody, right?
Yeah. So they and so there's all these sacrificial lambs that you fall in love with, but you realize don't get too close because they're going to be gone at the end of this episode.
Okay.
That's 5 episodes in, and you've lost 6 characters you care about, and it's like, so and can they stick the landing? Lost couldn't do it. Game of Thrones couldn't do it. Walking Dead jumped the shark after the Glenn and Abraham dispatch, and they've got to they have to show that they can actually bring this thing back all the way around, since in a way that would satisfy the show people and the video game people probably too.
Right.
So
all right, if any video game players are listening to or watching the podcast and know the ending, drop it in the comments. I would love to know what the answer is.
Spoiler.
I mean, much like Miss Pac-Man, I know there's a spoiler. There's a clear end to Miss. They get together, they have a baby. You know the rest.
Yeah, it is totally worth getting
this as well.
Get yourself an HBO
I'm not going to play the game
for a month.
I will watch the show.
Wait until it runs its course. Sign on for HBO, then binge it, and then quit.
That's
perfect.
That's right. All right, I am talking about a trailer that just dropped this week for a film that's coming out on March 3rd. This is the remake, the second remake of Children of the Corn.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah.
Looks pretty decent. Now, here's the cautionary tale. Much like Pet Sematary, the remake has been delayed, and I think it started in 2020, and I don't know if the delays are due to COVID or what, but the trailer looks really solid. The guy who directed it he has some pretty solid directorial chops to his name. I don't recall his name exactly, but he has done some pretty solid films in the past. But here's the thing: I want to go down the list of all the Children of the Corn. Now that we're jumping into a reboot of Children of the Corn, I thought it'd be interesting to go through them all because I think they're pretty hysterical. The only one I've seen is the first one, and
Me too.
I did rewatch it this last year. So, Children of the Corn, 1984. Have you seen it, Robert?
Oh
Yes?
yeah. Oh yeah,
Okay.
of course.
Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice, 1993, 9 years later. Anyone?
Nope.
No. Okay.
I can't remember that
Children
one.
of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest.
It's in a grocery store.
The final.
It's like-
It's in a grocery
Children of the
organic
frozen
grocery store.
corn aisle.
1995. Anyone seen that one?
No.
No.
Children of the Corn 4, The Gathering, less provocative of a name. 96. Children of the Corn
In
5.
space.
Nope, they didn't. I don't think I don't think they go to space. I can't say for
Okay.
sure. Children of the Corn 5, Fields of Terror. Nope. Okay.
Nope.
That was 98. Children of the Corn. This is my favorite. 666. Isaac's Return. That was 99. Then in 2001, they did Children of the Corn Revelation. 2011. So again, there was another big gap. They did Children of the Corn Genesis, and then
It's so generic. It's like,
and then Children of the Corn
fuck?
Runaway came out in 2018. They did a remake of Children of the Corn in 2009, and so now we're into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. This will be the 11th Children of the Corn. So
Ooh.
here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna lay this all out because Children of the Corn 3 through the one in 2018, Children of the Corn Runaway, were all straight to video VOD, right?
Did you watch them? Did you watch them all?
No, but this is my
Are
promise.
you going to give us a big
this-
post like before?
Yes, this I'm going to do. Well, not before this one comes out in March, but I am in 2023. I will watch all the children's of the Corn, and I will get back to you with a full and complete accounting. But it does look pretty solid.
Okay.
The remake looks solid. It has a lot of Pet Sematary vibes, which I thought the remake of Pet Sematary was really good. I didn't think it was as good as the original. I thought it was really solid. I thought they were really on to something.
It took some creative twists to keep you on your toes.
Yeah, for sure. And it was I thought it was a nice non-offensive update, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll report back here very, very soon.
Is Stephen King going to be involved with the new reboot?
Well, probably not. I don't think so.
See, that would be super helpful if he did.
I know.
But this is I think this you can thank it for. For all of these reboots of the Stephen King productions, because they're solid stories to begin with, and if you stick to his basic script, you're going to be in great shape. It's just when you do, Urban Harvest, or it's like, so what are you got a sandlot with like a couple rows of corn? It's like and a bunch of kids in I'm not interested in that.
Urban Harvest, the GMO revenge. I'm going to take us out of here with a quote from the original.
Hold on. Liz has a request though. Liz, who is not here, because she wants to tell people that Dead Ringers first look. Rachel Weisz is playing twins in Amazon's Cronenberg remake, so that's coming to Amazon Prime Video on April the 21st. And it says here, less than a year after David Cronenberg's Crime of the Future made a splash at Cannes, one of the body horror master's most famous films is getting a streaming TV treatment, Dead Ringers. The 6-episode remake of the Canadian filmmaker's 1988
It's a
feature
series.
will
Okay.
premiere on Amazon Prime Video on April the 21st.
All right.
to-
Something to
and
look
to-
forward to.
And to see where Liz is, check us out on Instagram. I just posted a photo that Liz Williams
Oh,
took
that's
in
right.
front of Profondo Rosso, the Dario Argento store in Rome. True story. So
Super
check us
cool.
out on Instagram, check us out on Facebook. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, leave some comments every which aware. And to get us out of here, Outlander, we have your women.
The masters of horror.